All right, everybody. It's what I'm doing right now. No theme song, none of that. Got some serious questions that just came in, so I'm trying to answer this question, and it's a good one. It's about Amazon ads. So um, this is right off the cuff. It's immediately when I got the email. So I just got the email right now, and what's been happening is one of the people that I've spoken with before about their brand is attempting to run an Amazon ad. They're trying to get people to recognize their brand. Now, this is one of those things where, first off, when you have a new brand, it's extremely hard to get coverage for your brand. Nobody wants to write about you. Nobody wants to share what you're doing. The people that you know are not your market. So you have to figure out how to find your customer. You have to reach outside of your circle, find your customer, and pull them back in. Now, I've used Amazon ads and it's been successful well, successful is relative. All right. I've done it several times and it's the most efficient way that I've found to sell my own shoes. Now, obviously, I sell a lot of different shoes, but to sell my ARC brand shoes, when you look up here at the corner, you see my logo. Because I'm talking about my brand right now, I have my logo up here so you can see what it looks like. But to sell my own brand, I had to use a combination of Amazon ads and extremely low prices because no one knows what my brand is. And more importantly, my brand doesn't necessarily serve a purpose with the shoe that I just made. So the shoe that I made last year, the one that I'm still selling through right now, didn't serve a purpose. Now, the person that wrote me, her brand actually serves a purpose. She makes, for lack of a better word, period pennies. All right. So if a woman doesn't want to have toxic shock sticking a tampon or something, during their menstruation, then she has a better option for those women. There are other companies on the market who are selling the same type of product, but her product I think is actually a little bit better, but she's having a very hard time finding a way to sell the product. So she wrote me and said, "Hey, I've been running a campaign on Amazon for the last week. I'm not impressed with the service." And she's like, "I got 71 impressions from one keyword. It just doesn't seem like they're showing my ads like AdWords would." Now, this is the thing. Even if you do an AdWords ad, you have to have a very good graphic. And even in that moment, when people see your product, even though you do a targeted ad, when people see your product, they still may not have any awareness of what that product is. In order to sell a product that's a new product from a new brand, you have to literally educate your consumer. So the first thing that I would say to anyone who's selling, even myself, is if you have it in you, go to a local flea market, set up at a local flea market and sell your product, because at that point you're going to be face to face with your customer and you're going to be able to sell those people on what you have because you'll be able to explain what it is. Now, a lot of people are working on the weekends. They started a business as a side job and they're trying to turn it into their main job, but they don't have the ability to go set up at a flea market. So if they're like me and they want to begin selling their product online and they want to maintain a pure play option, which I have to say, being strictly pure play, just being online, is one of the things that are starting to fade and trail off. It's becoming more and more difficult to strictly be an online company. All right. So you're going to have a presence, a physical presence, because it not only helps in SEO and Google search, it helps you because you get to be interacting with the person that may come in and buy the product. So let's get back to it. On Amazon. So she's doing an Amazon ad. Amazon ads work. All right. But it's a little bit touchy. So let me look at this campaign. If you see the campaign here in this window, you'll see that I have an extremely high cost, 33%. So I basically spent $407 and I earned $1,239. So this is for my shoe, the ARC TR114. So you see the ad group. And right now the campaign is paused because, one, I raised the price of the shoe back up and I just said, forget it. I'm going to keep the price of my shoe high. If I sell one pair a month, I'm just going to have to deal with that and grow it as efficiently as I can. But what I also started doing is something that I'm going to show you on the desktop as well. But this is the thing. When you use Amazon ads, use the automatic targeting. Okay, use the automatic targeting, and that way you're going to get the best result. Because if you use negative keywords and you decide to start inputting keywords, you're going to find yourself attempting to use the same keywords as another company in your field, and that company may have more money than you. And if they have more money than you, then your ad cost is going to be higher on a low price product. So if you're selling a 3-pack of underwear for $25, and these guys have got the keywords locked up, you're going to be spending $2 maybe to just get a customer acquired, and that's not a good thing. So just use the automatic targeting, set it up, give yourself a price of maybe $5 a day for your campaign daily, and what you'll notice is the cost for Amazon ads is very good. I mean, I've been running this campaign since, let's see, let me go back to the campaign manager, and you'll be able to see the date. I started running this ad last year in September. I've only spent $407, but this is what I've gotten out of that ad. 3 million impressions, 6,000 clicks. I spent 407 and I've made $1,239. Now, if you ask me how much I've made on my own website in regard to my shoe company, it's not that much, man. And people simply don't trust your website enough. So what you have to do is make yourself more of an expert in your field. You need to, if you're selling a period panty, it could be for an active lifestyle, or it could be for the light days at the beginning of the period and the light days at the end of the period. And it's an option that's not as, like I said, toxic as a tampon, or it's not as bulky as a Kotex strip that you have to stick into a pair of underwear. I know some of these dudes are looking at this like, man, I don't want to hear this. Forget that. What you have to do is remember, if you're going to sell something like this, you have to do the same thing that I did. And this year, I made a complete change around in my website. So let me show you what's been more effective at extending the reach of my product, my shoe company, ARC, versus just using strictly Amazon ads, which Amazon ads work. Once again, let's look at the ad group and we'll see. I get to see which shoes are selling. $63 on this. My spend was $63, but I only made 19. So look at the cost here. That's horrible, 316%. But let's find one where the acquisition is really good. Acquisition is 10% here, right? And I had 300,000 impressions, 461 clicks. I only spent $28, but I got a return of $284.96. And that was on a size 8 caramel, ARC TR114. That's a very good customer acquisition cost for a company like mine. 10% is great. 16%, not so bad. 15%, not so bad. But when I get here to the 25% and 316%, it's insane how much money I'm spending to attempt to get a person to buy a pair of shoes. So you have to be careful with any ad that you run, that you pay attention to how much you're spending. At the point that I was running this ad, I could afford to spend and have a customer acquisition cost of 33%. I can no longer afford that amount. So I've canceled it. And what I've begun to focus on, and I told her this, and she's saying, I don't know if I want to do that. You have to stop thinking that you're going to hurt your brand by becoming an educator and becoming a lot more engaging with your audience. Your website needs to become a hub of information. If you have a brand and you're not teaching or talking about the things that are in the same area as your brand, you're failing your own brand. All right. So what you'll see on ARC now, my logo's up here front and center. You see it. But it's a really nice lifestyle blog. And I talk about sneaker business. So insider ties, lifestyle stuff, dope stuff I like. I have my business information right here in the middle of the page so you can see it. And then when you scroll down, it's all types of great information. There's a reason for someone to visit my website every day. Now, your quick question is, well, do they go to the shop? Well, here's the shop link right here. Here's welcome to all of the information about my company is there. If I want them to go to the shop and buy something, I place the shoe right here in the middle of the page. So now I'm pointing. You can't see it. You have to look at the screen and look at my mouse moving. But I want to sell, let's say I want to sell a pair of Jordans. I put the Jordans up and I sell it. If I want to sell my ARC shoes, I have the ARC article as a sticky. It stays right there at the top of the page. You can click on it and you can go ahead and buy the shoe. But more importantly, every day someone new comes to my website. Now, how do I prove that? Let's log in and look at some stats real quick. And this is important, okay? So I'm going to my CB Publish site because the CB Publish site actually has a login where you can see it, and it's a little bit faster than going to my host. But I have to cut this short because we're about to run out of time.